motoring soul. Today we're stepping back to the very beginning of a legend, a car that didn't just put Australians on wheels but helped define post-war identity itself. This is the story of the Holden FX, officially known as the 48-215, the car that changed everything. Imagine Australia in the late 1940s. The war had ended, families were rebuilding their lives, industries were restarting, and the dream of independence was stronger than ever. Up until this point, most cars on Australian roads were imported, expensive, and not always suited to local conditions. Rough roads, long distances, and harsh climates demanded something tougher, simpler, and more affordable. That's where Holden stepped in, backed by General Motors, with a bold promise, a car designed and built specifically for Australians. When the Holden 48-215 was unveiled in November 1948, it wasn't just a new model launch, it was a national event. Prime Minister Ben Chifley himself announced it, signalling how important this car was to the country. Australians quickly nicknamed it the FX, a name that stuck forever, even though it was never officially used by Holden at the time. From that moment on, Holden wasn't just a brand, it became a symbol of national pride. Visually, the FX reflected global styling trends of the era, particularly American influences, but with a practical Australian twist. Its rounded body, smooth curves, and solid stance gave it a friendly yet confident look. The high roofline meant excellent headroom, the wide doors made entry easy, and the generous glass area provided great visibility. This was a family car in the truest sense, designed for comfort, usability, and everyday life rather than flashy excess. Under the bonnet sat a 2.15-litre inline six-cylinder engine, which is where the 48-215 name originated. Producing around 60 horsepower, it may not sound impressive today, but at the time it was perfectly matched to Australian needs. The engine was smooth, reliable, and designed to handle long distances without complaint. Paired with a 3-speed manual gearbox, the FX could cruise comfortably on highways and cope with rough country roads that would destroy lesser cars. One of the most important aspects of the Holden FX was affordability. Holden priced the car so that an average Australian family could realistically aspire to own one. This changed everything. Suddenly, car ownership wasn't just for the wealthy. Families could travel together, explore the country, commute to work, and build new lifestyles around personal mobility. The FX became a cornerstone of suburban growth, road trips, and weekend getaways. Inside, the FX was simple but well thought out. Bench seats allowed 3 people to sit comfortably in both the front and rear, making it a true 6-seater. The dashboard was minimal, with clear gauges and sturdy controls. Materials were chosen for durability rather than luxury, but there was an undeniable sense of honesty in the design. Everything had a purpose, and everything worked. In many ways, this simplicity is exactly why so many FX Holdens survived decades of hard use. The Holden FX wasn't just one car, it came in multiple body styles to suit different needs. The most common was the 4-door sedan, perfect for families. There was also a utility version, or ute, which quickly became a favorite among farmers, tradespeople, and small business owners. The panel van variant offered enclosed cargo space and later became iconic in Australian car culture. Each version shared the same mechanical backbone, proving how versatile the original design really was. Driving an FX today is a time travel experience. There's no power steering, no power brakes, and certainly no electronic aids. What you get instead is pure mechanical connection. The steering wheel is large, the pedals are firm, and every movement feels deliberate. You don't drive an FX quickly by modern standards, but you drive it with intention. It rewards smooth inputs and patience, reminding you how motoring once was. Culturally, the Holden FX quickly became more than transportation. It appeared in family photo albums, roadside picnics, wedding processions, and holiday memories. It was the car people learned to drive in, the car dads worked on in the driveway, and the car that carried generations forward. In rural Australia especially, the FX earned a reputation for toughness, often continuing to run with minimal maintenance in harsh conditions. Motorsport also played a role in building the FX legend. Although not designed as a race car, early Holdens proved surprisingly competitive in local events. Privateers modified them for hill climbs, endurance runs, and early touring car races. This grassroots motorsport success laid the foundation for Holden's long and proud racing heritage, which would later dominate Australian circuits for decades. Production of the FX continued until 1953, when it was replaced by the FJ Holden. By then, over 120,000 units had been built, an astonishing number for the time. The success of the FX gave Holden the confidence to continue developing locally designed cars, leading to a lineage that would include some of the most iconic vehicles Australia has ever produced. Today, the Holden FX holds a special place among collectors and enthusiasts. Restored examples are highly sought after, while survivor cars with original paint and interiors are treasured for their authenticity. Values have steadily increased, but more importantly, the FX is respected for what it represents rather than just what it's worth. It's a rolling piece of history. Restoration of an FX is both rewarding and challenging. Parts availability is surprisingly good thanks to a passionate enthusiast community and specialist suppliers. The mechanical simplicity makes them approachable for home restorers, while the bodywork requires skill due to the curves and age of the metal. Many owners choose period-correct restorations, while others build tastefully modified versions with modern brakes, suspension, or drivetrains, blending classic style with improved usability. There's also something deeply emotional about seeing an FX on the road today. It turns heads not because it's loud or aggressive, but because it feels familiar, almost comforting. Older Australians often share stories when they see one, recalling family trips or first jobs. Younger enthusiasts appreciate it as a symbol of craftsmanship and national identity in an era before mass globalization. The Holden FX also represents a time when cars were designed with longevity in mind. These vehicles were built to be repaired, not replaced. Panels were thick, components were accessible, and the engineering focused on durability. In a modern world dominated by disposable technology, the FX stands as a reminder of a different philosophy. As we look back, it's impossible to overstate the importance of the Holden FX to Australia. It wasn't the fastest, the most luxurious, or the most advanced car in the world, but it was exactly what the country needed at exactly the right moment. It gave Australians freedom, confidence, and a sense of ownership over their automotive future. The legacy of the FX lives on not just in museums or car shows, but in the DNA of every Holden that followed. From family sedans to performance legends, it all started here. The 48 to 215 wasn't just Holden's first car, it was Australia's first truly national car. If you ever get the chance to see one up close, take a moment to appreciate what it represents. Every curve, every bolt, and every kilometre tells a story of ambition, resilience, and pride. The Holden FX is more than metal and rubber, it's a chapter of Australian history on four wheels. Thanks for spending time with us today on Down Under Motors. If you enjoyed this deep dive into one of Australia's most important cars, make sure to show your support, and let us know which classic you'd like to see featured next. Until then, keep the legends alive and the stories rolling.